welcome back to Block TV, where it is time for Pump or Dump. It's the place and time where we take a look at the dominant news narratives of the week, see if we all agree about them, and then trash what we just said. Joining us in studio today, all my children, as we say, Zachy Hennessy, also known as the Culture Cretin.
That's me.
Thank you, there we go. Whitney Deal deals only with regulation. Yona Hochhauser, who cares, he's got blue eyes, but sometimes he deals with crime. And the tech maven, I love the maven, Aran Spitzer. 2 rounds of topics, limited time to state your case. We are going to start with the one and only Yona, crime reporter. Take us away.
Right, so everyone's talking about ransomware attacks. Recently, 23 Texas municipalities were overtaken by ransomware, and hackers are demanding Bitcoin. Now, people are once again pointing their fingers at Bitcoin. This is a Bitcoin story. It is not. Bitcoin is not enabling the hacks. It's merely allowing the hackers to get paid. Imagine for a second, instead of hackers taking over these systems, it was Russia or a foreign government hacking these systems. The story wouldn't be, ooh, how much money did they get away with? The story would be, these systems are too easily hacked. The story should be that these municipalities and these companies should up their security game. Okay? People have to learn how to not let, one, don't click on links if you don't know it, and 2, stop letting infiltrators into your systems. Bitcoin is not at fault here. It's the lapses in securities that are at fault here. Come on, guys, focus on the real story.
You got 12 more seconds to make that point.
Okay. Should I do it very easily? Russia takes over 23 towns this morning. Don't you think that'd be headline news? Instead of Bitcoin ransomware?
Okay, time out. Discussion, let's go into this. That said, let me play devil's advocate also for all of you. Bitcoin still is the monetary form used by these hackers to get their so-called ransom. Why not deal with that? Why should that not be the headline?
I think we should thank Bitcoin because it's actually drawing our attention to these crazy security lapses before people are hacking them for more nefarious gains. Listen, end of the day, money is money, and it's tough. It's tough for these smaller municipalities. But imagine if we didn't know about security lapses and we waited till World War IV or World War III. I forgot about that one.
Yeah, there's one on the way.
Where they took over all the cities, all the systems. Go down.
Okay, ladies and Cretin, what do you say?
I mean, it's always interesting to see these people get hacked. It's very funny to me. I love these stories. And then, you know, like we did a beat on it where we went in, we called these municipalities, and nobody knows what's going on. Nobody knows what Bitcoin is. Nobody knows anything about these things. So in a way, the hackers are kind of doing us a service in enabling people to, they want to look up Bitcoin and see what all the fuss is about. So in that sense, you know, it's nice that we're associating Bitcoin with these hacks. But
why is the media picking on them just Bitcoin?
No, it is important to talk about. I mean, listen, it's a new technology, and it's always anything that solves a problem like that is always going to start with a hack or something, right? And then at some point, people will fix the security problem. Because it's early technology, there are all of these problems, great, but it is important to know about them, and then so that the smarter people than us can fix them.
And let me give you this, if it's that easy to hack into a municipality center, how easy is it to hack into the Pentagon?
For somebody, very easy. For me, very difficult.
Very difficult. Okay, I lost interest, but Jonah is completely right. Let's move on to Whitney with the regulation. I decreed it. Whitney with the regulation corner. Please, before we start, here's the headline. What was everybody talking about? Actually, I'm going to give it to you. You got a minute. Shoot.
Okay, so everybody was talking about Libra, of course, and their Grill on the Hill. Well, Maxine Waters released a statement on the 23rd with a planned schedule for fall of 2019, including a pledge to carry on with a review of Libra, okay, as well as
it's a very different Maxine Waters. Go ahead.
Yes. So I mean, we love her, but you know, she announced this schedule. I don't think anybody should be talking about it though, because it's kind of, we knew that this was all going on in the background. It's kind of old news, whatever. When they get their answer, they'll come to us.
But
what we should be talking about is Mark Carney, the governor of the Bank of England, suggesting a transformation of global financial systems by replacing the US dollar with something similar to Libra.
And then we get saying more. Give me more about that.
So it's similar to the end of sterling's command in international money markets 100 years ago. Carney believes the dollar has reached a level of dominance.
Stop. Okay.
And should be no more.
And should be no more. Ladies and gentlemen,
Yeah, I think Carney is just freaking out, and everyone's freaking out because of the trade wars. And so people are saying, hey, if we can't rely on Donald Trump to be sane and keep the world economy stable, and hence the U.S. dollar stable.
Because there are people who actually think that.
Right.
Yeah.
So I think people are freaking out, like, hey, we always thought that America or the American leader would keep the world together, and now they see for the first time in pretty much U.S. history that the U.S. leader might not be able to keep the world together and might even actively push the world's economy off its axis.
It's also something that you see happening with Brexit and whatnot. All these people, offloading from Brexit into Bitcoin.
Right.
And it's like it seems to be a similar situation. But
By
my
the way,
mom
no,
always
but
told me.
no one. Yeah, but the UK economy isn't what the world is built upon. It's the U.S. economy, and the U.S. dollar is what he's talking about. And he doesn't even say digital currencies. He doesn't say cryptocurrencies. He's just trying to shift it away from U.S. dollar. He's saying we cannot trust the U.S. dollar anymore, aka we cannot trust the sitting president.
You know what you can't trust? A carny. Any carny you trust, you're gonna get hepatitis C.
But it's also
There's
we're
that
gonna
too, but
figure
that
out-
smack. I know your
Is that
culture.
an X of yours?
And there we go. Tend to agree entirely with no one on this one. We're gonna
You trust the carnies,
no,
don't you?
no. We're going to move along right now, leading us up to Zaki, right?
Yeah.
Zaki. Okay, culture correspondent, please.
Okay,
Take it
here's
away.
the
You've
thing.
got minute going now.
Everybody's been talking about this deal. My reveal from a Mr. James Bilal Khalid Khan. That's C-A-A-N.
Very well done.
Yeah.
Keep going.
He rented out this PR firm. He made a deal with this PR firm. He wrote this whole big fucking dissertation, and he posted it in 3 parts on their blog. And it's just a real slog. The
What,
dude's
once
a
again,
nutcase.
another person claiming he's Satoshi Nakamoto?
Yeah, he's claiming he's
Okay.
Satoshi, and he's into the Chaldean numerology and all this. Is a bunch of garbage. What we should be talking about is something that's not a waste of time, like BN Crypto's article on how much sports stars would make if paid in Bitcoin. Why? Because it may be fluff, but it's a little bit interesting. And who wouldn't like to know that LeBron James was paid $8K in Bitcoin per year? Who wouldn't like to extrapolate and say that Tom Cruise was paid $6K in Bitcoin per year? Who wouldn't like to extrapolate and say that I made 0.0002 Bitcoin for 8 hours of farm work that I did as a child?
And you're done. Okay. Valid point. Let's open this for a discussion. This is a true discussion. Satoshi revealed yet again. Why do we give a shit so much about who this man is?
We don't. There was a whole, bubble fuck of everything with this reveal. People weren't buying it from the beginning. The first one was kind of half interesting just because it was the first one, and then but everybody knew it was shit. So who was going to keep reading it? That's why they had to release the second 2 automatically out of time loop and everything.
Yeah.
Yes, I care much more about how much famous sports people are earning in Bitcoin.
No, hold on that. But what we do care about, I tend to disagree. Every time somebody comes out and says he's Satoshi Nakamoto, the sphere, not just us, goes with it, right? Why do we think? How do we change it?
Again, not with this. With this specific reveal, it was so transparent how bad it was.
As opposed to Craig Wright.
Right, who's kind of like a train wreck that you kind of want to watch go down. This wasn't that. This was half valid, but just badly done. And it could have been better. It could have been
just
better
real
as an
silly,
entertainment prank.
Yeah, you're saying that we shouldn't be talking about the Satoshi. We should be talking about this article. My question is, where did you stumble upon this article? How did
Well,
you
I'll tell you, it's sent to me by one Mr. Yona Huckhauser, and also
You're welcome. You're welcome.
I know,
Ms.
just to conclude the
Oran
article, but
Spitzer.
Yes, it was.
I know, but before mass adoption, people, mass adoption
Through
would come
fake
through
Toshis.
sports. Yeah.
Through
Through
fake
actually
Toshis.
sports. Okay, moving along. The Maven. Is that because you have red hair? Perhaps. Oran Spitzer, take us through technology. Got a minute starting now.
Right, so everybody was all up on Bact's, news. They were kind of riding that train. When things were going well, this is Bact's future's impact on the space. And when
Bact
it was
is
going
back.
to shit, it was like, look, the space doesn't care about Bact. It's old news. But actually, if you look at Bact, it was news that went on for a year. Things didn't go well. So I think everybody was just really hyper-focused on it and needed it to happen for their own kind of psychological purposes. Now, the space is super resilient, which is why we should be talking about Digitech's testnet of futures. This is currently in development. This testnet was announced for developers who kind of want to play around with it. And the
What does
Sphere
it do?
is really, it's a futures trading platform. But I'm saying the Sphere is so resilient that we didn't necessarily need Bact to keep going. But to kind of break it down, we do have a little video. Let's take a look.
Digitex Futures Exchange completely eliminates all transaction fees on all trades. This is made possible by utilizing our own cryptocurrency called the Digitex token. Instead of charging a transaction fee on every trade that goes through, we can instead cover costs by minting a small number of new Digitex tokens each year and sell those into the market. Commissions aren't just a small amount of money that you can afford to spend. In today's volatile cryptocurrency markets, if there was ever a time for commission-free trading, it's right now.
Now, even though you completely went over your time, I know. Okay, what do we think, folks? BACT should have been the focus. I tend to just, let me play devil's advocate.
Go for it.
BACT has been through this process for at least 2 years. The feeling is that if anybody's going to be able to do it, it's most likely them. It looks that way, okay? But does Oran have a point? Yes.
I disagree with Oran. And not on a personal basis. I love you. but because
I needed to clarify.
Not just because you're a piece of shit.
listen, BACT is
Yes.
owned and run by ICE, which owns the New York Stock Exchange, the biggest stock exchange in the world, the most reliable stock exchange in the world. These aren't some Joe Schmoes. Who the hell is these Digitex people?
Can I respond?
I don't know. Are they regulated? Who are they?
Right, but that's not the point. The point is that the sphere is resilient and kind of figures out how to surpass things that are in its way from developing. Really, if we look at it, everything that happened within the space should not have happened, but people just keep being smart and keep developing, and things go on. All I'm saying is that BACT was extraordinarily overhyped, which is the only reason we're still talking about it. Otherwise, it's just an average
That's the essence of the
platform.
sphere, hype.
Right, so I'm saying we don't only need to talk about this. Here's other people, other companies that are doing the same thing. Might work even better for you, but you have
just
no
3
idea
weeks ago,
about
another
them.
company claimed to have beat BACT, and we saw what happened with that.
Absolutely, there's always something, but
Okay.
it is a resilient space. It's new. Sorry.
Okay, I win. Now,
Absolutely.
that said, ladies and gentlemen, I want to say this first round was astounding and amazing, and the winner right now is Zaki.
Yes!
There you go. Yeah, this has no bearing on any kind of points you're getting.
Don't tell my mom.
Okay, whatever. Round 2. Well, Zaki can be beaten. Round 2 starts once again with Yona, our crime reporter. What did we miss? What should we have been talking about? Go.
Bitcoin is the new gold. This is the sentence, the motto that we've heard again and again by lovers of Bitcoin. Bitcoin is the new gold. Well, Forbes actually just wrote an article over the weekend titled Bitcoin is the new gold. And why? Why all of a sudden has Forbes capitulated to the lovers of Bitcoin? Because of the trade wars, and we keep on speaking about this, but this is the biggest issue facing Bitcoin and the world today. According to most of the experts, according to most people who are in the know, things are headed down. Things are headed towards a recession. The global markets are headed towards a recession. The US markets are headed towards a recession. So people are saying that Bitcoin is the new gold. Why? Because gold has historically been the asset which people hedge to when markets crash. I need a stable thing to preserve my value when everything else goes to shit. I go to gold. People are saying now Bitcoin is that thing when everything turns to shit. And I know that people who love Bitcoin are thinking this is a good time, but here's the crux. Focus on this. It might be good for Bitcoin, but it's bad for the world. It means the world went to shit.
Okay, let's talk about, first of all, a recession at the time of taping this is theorized as being a possibility of 75%, okay? That said, something, when it comes to the trade wars, Yona's right, these things are going to carry us through. We don't know what the President of the United States will do. Is Bitcoin the new gold? Should that be a headline we should be seeing over and over again?
I mean, it get kind of old after a while, I just think. Sure, recession
McAfee.
is looming. It's very intimidating. Oh no, recession. But if it happens or if it doesn't, regardless, the people's point is not, Bitcoin is a good replacement for gold, just in terms of a recession. But they're claiming that it's a good replacement for gold in general. So it's a different argument, I think.
I mean,
Shoot.
I'm saying the headlines over the last year have kind of been, ever since Nick Szabo said it like a year ago, everybody's really clung to that, right? Bitcoin is the new gold. Delphi Digital just did a whole freaking report on how it could help us in a recession.
There's a campaign with gold dropping from the sky.
I'm saying
Yes.
there is an absolute, it's nice for us to see it. Like I said before, it's a resilient space, and it's nice to know that we can be like, hey, we're identifying a problem, here's a potential solution for it. But even so, should we be like, people are doing that.
Space.
People are talking about the recession and a potential for fixing the problem by saying, hey, look, Bitcoin is the new gold and we can
Bitcoin won't fix the recession.
And also when you look at even people like in Venezuela, we keep talking about Bitcoin as if people are like on the street and you could stop them and be like, hey, Bitcoin. But the odds are, less people than you would expect are going to say, yeah, of course, that's what we're using as our store of value.
Finally, finally, as the story goes, unrelated but still a poll amongst you, do we think we're heading towards a recession?
Yes.
Yeah.
I think we need a recession.
Okay.
Absolutely.
And the answer according there you go. The answer according to that is Zachy does not know what a recession means. Whitney, going to Whitney deal regulation report, a second round. Take it away.
People are talking about the FTC settling with multi-level marketing schemes over some fraud. I don't think we should be talking about that because if you're dumb enough ill-informed enough or greedy enough to invest in something that's promising you an $80,000 return on a monthly investment of $100, that's whatever.
That's kind of like an email you're getting from somebody in Nicaragua going, I'm so sorry to send you this mail.
Exactly.
Yes. Okay,
exactly.
Mm-hmm.
I think what we should be talking about, though, is the fact that the U.S. is lagging behind China as far as regulation for crypto goes. And according to Circle CEO Jeremy Allaire, who was also on the Hill recently, he says that China's development of the national digital currency could alter the way that Western companies transfer payments. And considering everything with the recession and considering the trade war, I think that he's right, and we need to come up to that expectation. And
okay, who thinks Whitney is right? We're too far behind and nobody's talking about it.
Yeah, I think that it's kind of interesting. Do you know? Follow-up question. What's China's stance on like other cryptocurrencies besides the national one?
Bad.
Yeah.
Bad.
Yeah.
So
Don't
I mean, like in that
exist,
sense, you
die.
could say like, is it really that? Like you've got the whole Chinese populace fucking rioting against the Chinese government.
But think about all the business
And
that's
also,
done in China.
but also once you mention Jeremy Allaire as a person whose ideals align with that of the crypto sphere, I think
Folks, not only that, let me
95%
give you a
of people would
scenario.
disagree.
Never mind what the essence of the digital Chinese currency is. There is a mass amount of people in China who knows how to use digital currency. And that is already something, and you do not see paper in China.
Right.
Being,
The
the mass adoption of just working digitally has been moving so much faster than the Western Hemisphere. And we can disagree with the essence or the ideology behind whatever their digital currency will be, but their people know how to use it. Problem?
Yeah, and it can also, they can use it to bypass the Western banking system, which is
I'm feeling like we're talking about less like crypto.
Okay, I win. So,
As always.
No. But running is very, 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 very high behind me there, of course, is the one and only. Actually, I'm going to put that on you, Yona. You're number 2 now. That said, ladies and gentlemen of the press, we are moving right now to Zachy Hennessy, culture correspondent. Everybody was talking about what should they have been talking about? Let's run the clock.
Okay, I'm sure you've heard, but John Old McAfee got shadow banned on Twitter, and he tweeted about it. He was all sad and upset about it, and I went ahead and I checked, and he is in fact shadow banned on Twitter. People who search for his tweets, they're gonna have a hard time finding it.
Really?
A little bit.
What
yeah.
are we gonna do?
So, yeah, right.
Okay.
We don't necessarily-
You got
we
40
don't know what
seconds
the
to
cause of
describe
this
it.
is, okay? But
Okay.
here's the thing: we shouldn't be talking about his shadow ban because he probably deserved it. What we should be talking about is his shadow scam. Okay, he released this McAfeemagic.com. Don't download it, please. And if you do, it wasn't my idea. But basically, he's saying it's a shadow portal for professional. Basically, you can fucking put all your crypto trading in one place and have McAfee's bots automatically do crypto trades for you based on other professional traders' crypto trades, and it'll do it all automatically. So you just subscribe to the service and you make money without having to do anything.
That
Sounds legit.
clickbaity.
Please, Yona.
I have a question. What is shadow ban?
Yeah.
Shadow banning.
Yeah.
It's
What's it
this.
Please.
That was my
It's
question
this
too.
mum's the word kind of thing that they do on Twitter.com, where they secretly prevent the algorithm from showing your things in favor of other things.
How are you able to empirically prove?
No, it's all very hush hush.
That is
okay?
shady.
Yes,
There
you
are
are
those
able to
who,
prove
there are
there are a
those
couple
who
of
claim
sites
that
that you
Google
can
does
do.
it all the time.
Jack
Yeah.
Dorsey's shady.
Yeah.
Why are they claiming that they shadow banned him? What do you know
No,
the
no,
reason?
so that's the thing, right? It's a shadow. Like Twitter never comes. According to Twitter,
Like, you're
shadow
not
banning
banned.
does not happen.
I think we've just proven one point in this. Should we be talking about McAfee or
We're
what
all
he's
old.
doing? We're all talking about McAfee and the shadow
Well,
ban on
both
it.
of them
because
because it's
These are
McAfee.
entertainment.
McAfee sells, baby.
But also, we should definitely not be talking about the trader thing. Like, nobody should be talking about it. Like, I really hope that nobody's giving this a light of day.
People should be
Yeah,
talking
people should be
about
breaking
that.
it down.
People,
People
should be
should be
talking
saying
about that
don't-
it is a scam.
Potentially, yeah.
Yep. Okay. And there you go.
Allegedly a scam.
No. And because our rules have no rules or regulations, you won. That's who
Yes!
gets the prize.
Ah!
Okay. Iran Tech Reporter. There we go with the last round to redeem yourself.
Yes,
You got a
everybody
minute,
stares
please.
at me. Everybody last week was talking about this, right? The ICO bubble kind of recap has been going on over the last couple of weeks. Last week specifically with ICO Research Rating, with the whole SEC mess that's going on with that company. Not saying that it's wrongfully so. They're absolutely in the wrong, this company, and it has nothing to do with the crypto aspect of the thing, shockingly enough. But what people don't know and should be talking about is the recent Binance research report that came out, kind of talking through tokenization. It was literally titled "The World of Tokenization" and talked through the state of that at the moment. Ethereum, not that bad when you kind of break it down. Yes, the
According
ICO
to
bubble-
Binance's research.
Well, it's the #1 for tokenization within a company. So if you want to tokenize, you're using Ethereum. So you can blame them for the ICO bubble, but you also kind of need to thank them for things like the ERC20 and the ERC 1155 utility tokens that brought things like Engine, which frickin' Samsung is using. So there is a point.
Who's scared right now? Okay. Yes, please.
Oh, me?
Yeah.
I get another minute?
No, you don't remember me. Why should we be talking? First of all, let me give you this. Everybody was talking ICO, SEC. Why do these two things negate? I mean, at the end of the day, the SEC.
They don't need to negate, but I'm saying everybody's having like this kumbaya moment where they're like this come to Jesus, where like the ICO bubble was bad. Let's all remember that again. It's kind of all been coming together
that's
over
very
this
true.
last
We've
week.
all known it.
And it's like it happened. Like I said before, new technology, and usually the criminals come out before regulators get on top of it and things are fixed. That doesn't mean that the platform is that. You know what I mean? It doesn't mean that it should be derailed to shit.
No, entirely. And when it comes to Binance, the research report, why isn't that getting more traction?
It should, because people are too busy shitting on Ethereum to be like, we can get behind this report.
I was leading straight to that. Humans are bad to each other.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
and
don't
I-
be mean to the crypto kitties, the platform that enables
And
it.
I do think that.
and other platforms
and
like
the-
Samsung's, like I said, Engine is a utility token that is their logo is there. It is used by the Samsung wallet.
Ladies and gentlemen, this was Pump and Dump for this Sunday. Oh my God. And they're shutting us up. I want to say that the winner of
song.
this Sunday
Yeah.
entirely.
Please,
was
please,
Whitney.
please.
But folks, thank you so much. We were Block TV. This is what you should be talking about, and we'll be right back.
For more news and updates, follow us on Twitter